But for now, the Russians have concentrated all their forces to surround the Bakhmut city. They are attacking it from the north and south, but the Ukrainian artillery is not sleeping. Later, another tank is destroyed while trying to enter the city.
The war in Ukraine is approaching to prepare a powerful armored fist with which to break through the Russian. More than 450 tanks will arrive in Ukraine. This should be enough to break through Russia on the battlefield. Who will prepare faster for this decisive battle, and who has a better chance of winning? Let's talk about this in our new video.
Hello everybody. New technologies are being used in all areas of human life, and the army is certainly no exception. But we aren't just talking about modern military equipment like tanks and drones and submarines.
And it's saving its best troops, wanting to prepare for a decisive battle. Last fall, it was decided to prepare a powerful armored fist with which to break through the Russian offensive line and inflict a major defeat.
.440 units of U.S. military equipment destined for Ukraine were spotted at the German port of...
Bersama Zaki, kini kembali rilis berita terkini tanggal 27 Maret tahun 2023. Sepertinya pertempuran Rusia dan Ukraina diperkirakan masih berlangsung lama. Ini dilansir dari pernyataan antara kedua belah pihak, di mana saat ini saling serang terus terjadi. Apalagi baru-baru ini pernyataan dari pihak Ukraina akan serang Rusia. Dalam waktu dekat ini, mereka mengatakan akan memanfaatkan kelemahan pihak Rusia yang telah kehabisan tenaga dalam pertempuran merebut kota Bakhmut oleh tentara bayaran Wagner, yaitu Private Military Corporation milik si tukang masak Yevgeny Prigozhin. Sekarang Ukraina bertambah kekuatan di mana Amerika Serikat, Inggris, dan Jerman yang tergabung dalam Nato baru-baru ini kembali kirim 450 unit dan ratusan unit artileri berat, di mana saat ini sebagian sudah mendarat dan yang lain dalam perjalanan menuju Ukraina. Tak kalah dari pernyataan pihak Ukraina, hari ini Rusia juga kirim tank 420 unit dan 15.000 tentara ditambah ratusan unit artileri misil. Dan ini dipantau langsung oleh Vladimir Putin, ditilik dari jual beli serangan. Perang ini menjadi yang terbesar dalam sejarah setelah Perang Dunia Kedua silam, dan kalau kita melihatnya dari teknologi balistik dari semua yang bertempur, ini melebihi Perang Dunia II. Belum lagi yang dikutip baru-baru ini, Zelensky presiden Ukraina ini telah klaim di mana tentaranya telah tewaskan 5.100 tentara bayaran Rusia dalam waktu sehari. Klaim Rusia pun sebaliknya, di mana pihaknya sudah luluh lantakan Bakhmut dan telah hancurkan lebih 2.000 unit artileri berat termasuk 400 tank milik Ukraina. Dan ini pernah dibenarkan oleh pihak Ukraina, di mana saat Zelensky turun langsung di lokasi perang, yaitu Bakhmut. Dalam wawancara, dia utarakan bahwa Ukraina mengalami kerusakan dan kerugian yang sangat besar, ditambah lagi ribuan tentaranya telah tewas. Sekali lagi ini adalah perang yang sangat besar. Semua balistik besar kecil berkumpul di Ukraina untuk perang jarak dekat, jarak jauh, dan tidak dapat kita bayangkan apa yang terjadi ke depan. Perang besar akan terjadi, dan apakah ini akan memicu Perang Dunia Ketiga? Salam Zak News. Agar terbangun channel ini dan selalu semangat update, jangan lupa subscribe, like, and comment, juga bunyikan lonceng notifikasinya. Tanpa sahabat YouTubers, maka tidak mungkin channel ini ada. Bye-bye, terima kasih.
Superiority. This technique worked well on the eastern front at Bakhmut. With great difficulty, losing hundreds of soldiers a day, the Russians are advancing meter by meter, foot by foot. Theoretically, Russia could put more than 5 million men in arms. Even without modern weapons, this multi-million-dollar army would be an insurmountable problem for Ukraine. Putin is willing to sacrifice as many of his soldiers' lives as it takes to win. A variety of other armored vehicles. Ukrainian command is in no hurry for another offensive, and it's saving its best troops wanting to prepare for a decisive battle. But Ukrainians meanwhile are already experiencing problems with their army. Therefore, the only way out is to bet on Western military equipment. Interestingly, Ukraine has a clear counterattack plan, which is easy to understand just by looking at the map. None of the Ukrainian commanders are hiding it. Only the date of the operation and its details are unknown. Here's how this counterattack will take place. First of all, the Ukrainian military will destroy all Russian ammunition depots and all military infrastructure within 150 kilometers of the front. American GLSDB missiles launched from HIMARS will be able to help with this. The British also promised to supply long-range missiles to Ukraine. Probably these would be Scout Storm Shadow air missiles with a range of more than 250 kilometers. These missiles can be launched with Soviet MiG-29 aircraft, and Slovakia has promised to transfer these aircraft to Ukraine. In general, when you hear that the Ukrainian army has started actively striking in the Russian rear, it means that this is preparation for a decisive battle. Then the Ukrainian army, armed with German, American, and British tanks, will have to break through Russian defense fortifications in the south of the country and cut through the so-called corridor of Crimea. In about a week, the Ukrainians should reach the shore of the Sea of Azov, encircling the cities of Melitopol and Berdyansk. The entire Russian defense in southern Ukraine rests within place. First is the city of Melitopol, where the Russians have set up many warehouses and barracks for their military. Second is the supply of arms and ammunition from Crimea. Third, there are railroad deliveries through the Volnovakha railway junction. With the new missiles, the Ukrainians will be able to destroy all of this, just as they destroyed hundreds of targets with HIMARS missiles last year. Then, the Ukrainian infantry, supported by tanks, will have to break through to the shores of the Sea of Azov. Then Ukraine would again launch several devastating strikes on the Crimean Bridge, putting it out of action. This could also be done with long-range missiles and kamikaze surface drones, Ukrainian-made. These drones could damage the supports of the bridge, and the missiles could significantly destroy the railroad tracks. All of this would disrupt supplies from Russia to Crimea, and Crimea will find itself surrounded. The Russians will only be able to supply Crimea with ships, but then they risk losing all of their ships. Long-range missiles love to hit big ships. Let me remind you that the Ukrainians have already sunk the largest Russian cruiser, the Moskva, when it came too close to the coast.
Off the face of the earth. When the Ukrainian army goes on the counteroffensive, the Russians' fortified positions will also be swept away by this massive fire. Putin needs some kind of victory. Russians hope to capture the city of Bakhmut with great persistence and sacrifices to demonstrate to the world at least some combat capability of the Russian army. But even if the Russians capture the city, it will not bring them any benefit. The fate of this war will soon be decided by the Ukrainian counteroffensive, which we all look forward to. Well,